Hello, my name is Dante Renee from the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1987's Pretty Smart. And here it is on VHS. I don't believe it ever got an official Beyond VHS release. Look at this beautiful artwork. Pizza on the floor. Look at this. Look at the girls' outfits. But I believe Scorpion Releasing is going to be putting it out on Blu-rays at some point. I don't really know. But here's my VHS copy. Right here, New World Pictures. And here's some shots on the back. And Pretty Smart, 84-minute movie. And it says, meet Ziggs and Zero. When they're good, they're very, very good. And when they're bad, they're brilliant. Pretty Smart. Let's look at this film here, folks, because this is a fascinating, awesome film, starring Trisha Lee Fisher, Patricia Arquette in an earlier role, and they even state Patricia Arquette from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. They actually say that on the cover here. So let's look at Pretty Smart, because this is a very unique R-rated teen sex comedy. And it really also shows you, and you know how much I love teen sex comedy. Oh, wait a minute. First off, let's look at this girl right here. Look at the socks. Look at this whole thing. Awesome, awesome stuff. Anyway, how dirty the floor is and everything. Got a boom box down there. All right. It really shows you the capacity of the teen sex comedy subgenre of comedy films or sexploitation films or what have you. And we're looking at a prime year. We're looking at a beautiful year of 1987 here, folks. And one of the things that I just absolutely find so special about the teen sex comedy genre is how huge it is, how big it is, how complex it can be, how beautiful it can be within the storyline, within the cinematography or the style of the film, or within the characters. Within the comedy, within the sex, within the way all of those things are expressed, and in the unique traits that only this subgenre can provide. And as I've stated many times before, I believe the teen sex comedy subgenre is the last lost genre out there. These films are all being lost because a lot of them, I would say most of them, are stuck on VHS, which is a dead format now, and have never gone to DVD, obviously have not gone to Blu-ray as well, and so they are all being lost. You will never see them on digital platforms. You will never, Netflix, so on and so forth. But this is a case where, we need to talk about these films more. We need to talk about Pretty Smart more. Pretty Smart is a movie that deals with two sisters in a very unique way. As a matter of fact, as you watch this film, every time you think you know where the movie is going to go or how it's going to be, even from the get-go, you're wrong. You're taken for surprises at every turn. You have no idea what's going to happen from moment to moment in this film. And it's a case where you just don't realize that the movie is going to take unique approaches to characters, to the storyline. And we have two sisters. One is a bit wilder and more bad, and the other one is a little bit more by the books. And this movie takes place at a girls' school. Okay, I guess I'm taking it to be maybe a girls' high school or something like that. And all of the different girls that are at the school, all of the different characters, and primarily we are looking also at the leadership, the red tape, the politics of the school as well. Pretty Smart has themes of rape, drug smuggling, Peeping Toms, porn VHS distribution, also porn tapes, erotica collectors, kind of class divisions amongst girls, amongst teenage girls, the elements of music, and music at the time in the 80s, like Public Image Limited versus techno pop. We also have racism, We have traveling to other countries. We have kind of dealing with yourself and dealing with your own demons, rebellion, fighting the man, fighting the system, and the greatness of that, but also the bad qualities of that as well, the limitations of that also. We deal with some pretty complex issues in regards to introspection and self-discovery. We also have slapstick comedy in here as well. It's a movie at the start that you're not exactly sure there's going to be much nudity, and then all of a sudden, voila, we got tons of topless nudity in this film, folks. And we also have even some bottomless full frontal from a girl in the film as well, and probably one of the wildest face-sitting scenes I've seen, especially in a teen sex comedy R-rated film. Great R-rated language in this movie. We got great dancing and synchronized dancing that breaks out. We have the elements of division and peace and unity versus division again. The elements of kind of punk, fighting the system, but also figuring out how to fight the system, how to infiltrate the system, how to do it, not just to do it, but to do it without getting more politics involved. Pretty Smart is a movie that at the forefront really has one girl at the forefront. And what we have is her past, her present, and how that connects with all of the relationships in her life, including her own parents. We have lots of simulated sex in the movie as well, with even a guy with a lot of back hair, which makes a girl vomit. As I stated before, VHS plays a pretty big role in Pretty Smart, not just me watching it on the format of VHS, but also in terms of some areas of the storyline. Now, I will say that this is a film that has the slapstick lightness, sexiness of a teen sex comedy. Now, then, of course, it also gets a bit dark with drugs and kind of sex trade type stuff, and some pretty unique storylines to boot. We also have a lot of kind of Greek culture flying in the movie as well. As I looked at the closing credits, it looks like this film was mostly done by Greek people, and even the director himself. And it also looks like filmed a bit in Greece as well. So really, really interesting. You got the teen girls together, sleepovers, slumber parties, and wild rebellion, and catty class division as well. This is a really bizarre school environment in this movie, and it has a really bizarre vibe to it that almost feels like it was done by someone who was not American, kind of coming into American culture and into English language and situations, and it just makes it that much more beautiful. I think of a film like Bloodbeat, which has that foreign aspect coming into an American world in the film, and it just makes it that much more beautiful. Pretty Smart seems to have those vibes, and I don't know much about the background of the film, but it seems to have those vibes in it as well. It's a movie that is light, fun, wild, what the F, and then also dark. And it has all of those elements mixed together with an ending that is truly what the F also. We also have some narration in this film. It also breaks the fourth wall. The first time that I heard it, it was absolutely ingenious. I believe that a character said, "Who's writing this girl's lines?" It just comes out of nowhere. The comedy in this film is done really, really well. It's not over the top or things like that. We have a couple elements of slapstick that are genuinely funny. But throughout the film, it really is not, over the top. It has a kind of just a low, like an underlying level of humor, but also drama in the mix as well, and wildness. We have an unbelievable opening credit sequence in this movie, using just the 1987 digital technology. Just really looks cool. Almost reminds me of the beginning of Jim Wynorski's The Lost Empire. Just looks really, really fantastic. Pretty Smart from 1987. The copyright in the closing credits was 1986. Is a very, very unique teen sex comedy, very special film that more people need to see and more people need to talk about. I absolutely love the main brunette in this film. I don't believe I've ever seen her before, but she is awesome. She's hot. I love her personality, her vibe. The acting in here is great. This is a movie of characters as well. And as I stated, what really sets it apart is that there is a heavy dose of dramatic areas of this, but it's not drama. If you catch my drift, it almost has the dramatic elements of like the Legend of Billie Jean. Okay, that kind of thing where you're mixing that with like Screwball Hotel, which I've looked at on this YouTube page. Love it. And you mix those worlds together, and you have like Pretty Smart in some regards. Very, very cool movie. Here it is, folks. 1987's Pretty Smart here on VHS from New World Pictures, and maybe soon to be a Blu-ray release on Scorpion Releasing. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like Pretty Smart from 1987. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films at vimeo.com/poopy diarrhea, POOPY diarrhea. Formerly at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. That'll lead you to vimeo.com/poopy diarrhea, where you can follow me there. Thank you so much, and good night.